Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your reading. So I've channeled a song. It's a rock song. It's more modern compared to what I normally channel, and it's called I Feel So Alive by POD, and I will put the song with the lyrics in the description box below. It's definitely a spiritual song, even though it's a rock song, but the lyrics, they touch. Okay, if you just read the lyrics, even without listening to the song, they hit, they touch home. But anyway, before I get into all that, I will say a little bit of the lyrics here before I start the reading. But I want to let you guys know that you're so beautiful and you're so needed in this world, and thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me. I value you. The divine values you, and thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And the lyrics, okay, just the lyrics are just something else here. Every day is a new day. I'm thankful for every breath I take. I won't take it for granted, so I learn from my mistakes. It's beyond my control. Sometimes it's best to let go whatever happens in this lifetime, so I trust in love. You have given me peace of mind. I feel so alive. And it says, even another lyric was, now that I know you, I can never turn my back away. Now that I see you, I can never look away. And for me, you take it how you want to take it. If you want to even consider the song at all, that's up to you. But for me, when I was listening to the lyrics, when I was reading the lyrics, it reminded me of my relationship with God. I call Creator God, but it reminded me of my relationship with God. And at some point when I was younger, I grew up around a crazy family, and then I also had a very religious part of my family, and it made me question a lot. When I was around 20 years old, like the 18 to 20, I was questioning. I was raised in religion, okay? I was raised in Christianity, but my parents, they believed in God, but they weren't living godly lifestyles at all. So I was questioning things, trying to find myself, discover myself. And I'm just going to say that God has proven to me that He is alive, and more than once, through my children, through my personal life. I've almost died 4 times. And it's, trust me, I know God is alive. I know whatever word anyone wants to use, let's just say Creator, I know that for sure. And for me, that's how I took this song. I don't know if that's what's going to come out in the reading, but it's a powerful spiritual song. Changes are coming, okay? And it might be strong spiritual changes. Things might happen to change us spiritually as people. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to say a quick prayer, and I'm going to ask, I'm going to give thanks and gratitude. I'm going to ask for protection and guidance, okay, for this reading. Our Father in heaven, I want to thank you for all the many blessings that you've given to each and every one of us that are here. I want to thank you for my channel and for all the people who visit, even the people who visit just to go to sleep or just to support me when the readings don't resonate. I want to thank you for everyone that's here. They are truly a blessing, and I know they're only in my life because of you. I want to ask for protection for everybody that's here viewing this, protection from evil eye, harm, illness, protection for ourselves and for our loved ones. I want to ask permission to look, to peek inside whoever this reading resonates for. I want to ask permission to peek inside so I can see what I need to see to give the information and share the love and the light of your divine purpose for us all. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. So I wasn't really guided to use much for oracles, just the wisdom of the oracle. I can learn a lot from that. I'm going to close out with the enchanted map. I'm going to be using for tarot the Urban deck and the Osho Zen, very spiritual deck there, okay? And so one would be very spiritual, and then one would be very 3D, things that literally are going on in the 3D. So we'll see what wants to come out here. But we got just in the split round and round and a leg up. Maybe it's maybe something that you feel has been repetitive in your life. You're about ready to get some sort of help and get out of the loop, okay? Get out of some sort of loop here. All right, show me what I need to see for the sign of Aquarius. If you're a cross watcher, this could also apply to you. This may be one of those readings that could apply to everyone. I honestly don't know. Time to go. Something is about to change here. We have 45, which turns to 9, and it's definitely something that is, wrapping up. It's at the end. 9s are almost there. 10s, it's done. So let's just see. Anything else about that? Anything else about that? Observer. Orphaned. Anything else? All right, guess that's it. But we do have new life on the big bottom here. I believe literally that you're observing something in your life here, okay? Something that needs to change, something that needs to transform. Something that's held you back, okay? Whether it's some sort of issue where you've been left out, some sort of issue from the childhood or the past, any sort of abandonment issues. Okay, I feel that you're paying attention to patterns here. Patterns, things that have happened in your life. And I feel that you're walking away from whatever this is. Whatever this loneliness is, I think that you are turning to source. All right, because literally the observer is looking up to the sky here. And this is like saying to me, whatever this is that's made you feel like you were alone, I think at some point you realize, no, I've never been alone. I've always been with my Creator. I've always been with Source, Divine, who I call God. I've always had this with me. And I feel that it's going to put you on a new journey, because I think it's going to make you feel alive. I think it's going to make you feel like, look, my life isn't over. Sometimes people feel like their life is over because a situation didn't work out, or a person didn't work out, a job didn't work out, a career didn't work out. If I had like $1 for every career I've had, let me just tell you, I have changed so many careers, okay? It took me a long time to find who I was. I totally get that. If anybody is in a situation in their life like, I don't know which direction to go, I don't know if I am embarking on the path I'm supposed to be on. Maybe you're about to change careers, about to change some path, and you didn't see it coming. It could be. So I get it. I understand. But you're leaving this feeling, whatever has kept you sort of in this sort of, alone and silence. Nobody else knows what's going on with you. Yeah. Source. God knows what's going on with you. Your Creator knows what's going on with you. And it's time. It's a time to get out of this type of energy, okay? Time to get out of that energy. It's time to live life. And I'm going to give you a quick story, because I do have a lot of twin flames who watch my page. Not everyone is a twin flame, but I do seem to attract a lot of them. A majority of my tarot readings are about twin flames, and my private ones, it comes out. I'm on a twin flame frequency, and I draw it. I'm there. I attract it, I guess. But there are some people who literally have felt alone on that journey, abandoned on that journey, okay? And it's important to know that you're not alone. It's important to know that all of this was to happen for you to ascend, okay? And even if it's a soulmate, even if whoever it is that you feel close to, some sort of connection that you might have felt left out, okay? It's saying no. The whole purpose of this is to ascend to your highest, ascend to your Creator, get to know your Creator. We accept so many truths that are fed to us. We accept so many things, and we think we know who our Creator is. We think we know everything. But I'm going to tell you something. When I got to know who God was, it was different than what I was taught. It was different. When I sat down and had a conversation with God, more than one occasion, I was always taught to fear God, because God can end my life. God can end anything that I enjoy and love in this life. But I'm going to tell you what my experience was when God spoke to me. He was loving and guiding, and God would tell me things that I needed to do. And God was always patient. God was always patient. And it made me cry, literally. So I just want to make that a point here. There's something here about this. It has something to do with your spirituality, your ascension. It has something to do with realizing and not taking for granted every day of your life. A lot of people wait on a twin flame. Years. I've read comments. A lot of people wait on a person from the past to come back, to awaken, to even family and friends to stop doing drugs or stop doing this or that, and to come back and return. You know? And it's hard. But all of this is happening to bring you closer, to have faith, to know that everything is happening here for your highest good, even if you don't understand it. And it's painful. It's time to move on from that energy. It's time to move on. Have every day in life that you wake up, it's a blessing. Every day that you wake up is a blessing, because you can change something. You can't change another person, but you can change yourself. What do I need to see in the tarot? Three of Pentacles. In this deck, it's about work. And we have the Hierophant in the reverse. Now this is the preacher. This is the person delivering the word of God right here, quite literally. So this is also like saying, gives me the feeling of like, because we have holding back here, we have a person working. So this is almost like saying, a lot of people put a lot of effort into work. They put a lot of effort into collaboration with other people. But they don't put a lot of effort into source. There's even people who have given up on religion, okay? Because it's like, we don't feel accepted at sometimes. I mean, I remember when I was younger, I wouldn't go to church because I said, I'm a sinner and I don't feel right going into church. I don't feel right doing a lot of things. I had a lot of conditioning, and I felt really that God didn't love me because I was a sinner. I was doing all the wrong things here. And so I focused on work, I focused on other connections, and I focused on money, and I didn't focus on my relationship with God. I just didn't. I didn't feel worthy of it. So there's something here about this, because I don't know for you, but for me, God has come into my life so many times and proven to me that he's here. Tell me about the Three of Pentacles. We got here somebody looking out the window. Now the card literally says postponement. It's like a Four of Pentacles. It's right here as well. And a lot of people right now are really trying to discover, you know, looking for answers. And a lot of people watch tarot looking for answers. I know I did. When I met my twin flame, I started watching tarot so much, and I was like, what is going on? I never even watched tarot on YouTube ever before, and it just I became obsessed, and look, I'm reading it now. But I like to think that I'm reading tarot in a different way. I'm not reading it, I'm not trying to clickbait you to always look for love. I'm trying to just do what I feel that I'm driven to do at this moment. So you might be looking out into the world here. You know, what's my place in this world? Who am I? I know the feeling, my friends. I do. Why did I go through all this stuff? Am I just meant to suffer? Am I meant to be with anyone? And what's going to happen? You know, really, why am I here? A lot of times we distract ourselves. A lot of times we compare ourselves as well. We have a card of comparison that came out in reverse. And we have the Dream, which is literally Six of Cups. And this is thinking of someone special. You know, sometimes we compare ourselves, or we look at other situations and we're like, you know, I wish I had the happiness that someone else had, or I wish that, or someone could even look at you this way, you know. We all look around. It's natural to watch people, and it's natural to wander and notice other people, especially when we're in a situation where we're feeling like this. Sometimes we look to others for guidance to just sort of help get us out of this slump. Well, you know, they got themselves out of it, or, you know, maybe if I do what they're doing, I'll feel better. But it's ultimately saying, look, a lot of us are just looking away from our Creator here. Our Creator has our divine blueprint because it is our Creator. Nobody knows us better, more intimately than our Creator. Tell me about the Hierophant. Hierophant in reverse. Tell me about the Hierophant. So, you think that, you know, nobody knows that you're crying, that you're in isolation? No. Your Creator knows that you're crying because your Creator is always with you. In spirit. It surrounds you all the time. You might even feel it. You might even feel it. I'll tell you one thing. Right before I pray, I always feel right behind my neck. I feel like I have this presence, huge presence, like a warm hug right behind me. And I know that I'm not alone. But there's a lot of people who are literally in pain and suffering and just sort of putting on this face, this mask. But I'm literally, this is a spiritual message here. You know, we have the master here in reverse, but for me it's the ascended master. It's really about getting to know, meditation here, getting to know who you are in your connection to your Creator, to Source, to God. Tell me about the root. We're not growing, okay? This would be saying some of us are not growing and expanding in love. We're growing and we're expanding in things of the world. We might be growing and expanding when it comes to work, to income, growing and expanding in things of the 3D world, of the world, worldly things, but it's talking about growth and expansion and love, and the problem is it's not happening. 3 of Wands reverse, Ace of Cups reverse. And because we're not growing and expanding in that love, consciousness, we're not completing things. This is 4 of Wands, it's a completion. Sometimes it's a union. But this is, in this case, it's a graduation of a university. If we came here to evolve on this planet for some reason, our evolution here, and it has to do with love, it's saying, you know, this is why we're here. We're evolving when it comes to love. Always. I don't care what dimension you are. I don't care if you're on planet Earth or you're on wherever planet you end up being on. It's always about the evolution. But planet Earth seems to have a lot of distractions, seems to have a lot of things that hold people back. And people end up feeling very lonely. Loneliness is huge. I remember having a meditation with Archangel Michael years ago before I even started my tarot channels. And I asked Archangel Michael to let me experience the strongest feeling that people were feeling at that time. It was in November. I remember it was like a month before the, you know, where I live, Christmas is big. It was like a month before that. And I don't regret asking for that, but instantly, after asking Archangel Michael, and I had journaled this, I got this feeling of sadness. And it lasted for 4 hours. I was supposed to go food shopping. I had plans that day. I completely broke down. I couldn't move. I was literally in front of this angel right here. And this statue right here. And I was asked for that, and I was meditating that, and I felt so lonely. I felt like this for 4 hours. Finally, somebody came into the room and says, hey, you got to get up. I could have stayed there the rest of the night like that. Somebody says, hey, you got to get up. We got stuff to do. Loneliness, I think, is one of the number one emotions that people experience, especially adults, but even children. Children are lonely. I was a very lonely child. It's about transcending that, though. Transcending loneliness. You're not alone. You're not alone. Why do we have this here? What is the past? What is the past? I guess I should move this over so you guys can see it. I understand there's going to be people who want to just watch about love. Okay, I understand we want love and we look for love in the wrong places because a lot of times we're lonely. We want to feel a connection. But there is that connection when you connect with Source. There is that connection. Tell me about the past. Tell me about the past. Prince of Disc, which is a page of disc. It's about a conversation. So the way I take this, and I can relate to this, why I never used to talk to God. I didn't feel worthy. Well, there was a reason I didn't feel worthy. It was because my actions didn't align, right, with what I felt my actions should have been. And it had a lot to do with not feeling like I would be forgiven. It had a lot to do with, making peace so I wouldn't do anything. We have justice here, which is about karma, but it's also, I'm hearing the sword of truth. The sword of truth, the belt of truth. We have truths in reverse. A lot of times we feel like the things we go through, that it's happening for a reason. It's karma. We deserve it. And there's a degree of balancing out karma and yes and all that. But a lot of times, because this is talking about, it's like saying, hey, you guys, this is like if your creator is saying, I haven't heard from you. You guys don't talk to me anymore, but yet I created you. And a lot of people don't talk to, I'm just going to say God, because that's, for me it's God. It's for you, whatever you want. You put the word there. I never talked to God because I didn't feel worthy. I felt I would be judged by my actions. And there's a lot of people here feels the same way. Feels like being judged for some sort of action here. And karma. And swiftness with the 7 of Swords. I'm going to get swift karma. Karma is going to come in quick for what I've done. And it was hard for me to talk to God too. It was hard. Because of all of my karma. You guys know me as this nice, loving person. I went through so much to get here. You wouldn't even understand, okay? Being a child who was raised in an environment where there was abuse, but there was love. I was in my home, I was homeless, and I was transitioned to another home. I lived with my grandparents who were strictly religious, Christians. I went to Catholic school. My parents, my dad was a biker. My mom was an exotic dancer when they were younger. When they were older, they became factory workers, go figure. But in their younger age, they were wild rebels, and I grew up in that environment. I grew up seeing things that children should not see. And then being removed from that home and put with my grandparents, I went from seeing extreme lifestyles, gang-banging stuff, to my grandparents who were very strict and religious. And as a kid, this is all the stuff I'm seeing. So as a young Aquarian, I partied and stuff like that. And then as I had children, I realized this is not the life I want. And I've been changing and I've been awakening. Okay. But I didn't truly start awakening till I had a twin flame encounter. And that's kind of what they do. They are the catalyst. I didn't talk to God for many years, and I wasn't even sure if I believed in God until I was like 18 years old, until, you know, God literally kept saving my life over and over. I just thought I was lucky. What is crowning this? What is on the mind of the Aquarians or the cross watcher? What's on the mind here? What is keeping some people from ascending? What is keeping some people from connecting to Source? What is keeping this? What is on their mind? Wow, disappointment. 5 of Cups. It flipped over right here. Disappointment. I understand that feeling too. I felt God was disappointed in me. Gave me this life and gave me this opportunity, and I felt that I was squandering it, not doing anything with it. I was partying, doing whatever. Wasn't doing anything really particularly good with my life at the time. To this day, my best achievements are my children. That is the only thing I feel I didn't screw up. Not saying that, you know, they don't have problems, but I feel that that was the one thing I tried my hardest at. Was for their life not to be like my life was. So disappointment. Disappointment is what's keeping a lot of people from talking to God. Tell me about that 5 of Cups. Disappointment because lack of change, transformation, wanting to change but not having changed. And that's for whatever. I know what it's like to want to be a better human. I know what it's like to say, I'm going to start doing this, and then I'm going to get right. I don't know how many times I made deals with God when I was younger, especially when I had health scares and stuff like that. And I remember, you know, I would make deals with God, you know, God, if you save my father from cancer, or, you know, I'll stop doing this. And I would make deals with God all the time as a young person. I was just so naive, you know. But then I wouldn't change. I was playing myself and I was playing God, you know. I wouldn't do the thing. I wouldn't transform. I wouldn't end the cycles. That's why I said, you know, I've changed a lot. Your tarot reader has pretty much been through hell and back. But now that makes me a great storyteller. It also lets you know it's possible. If I can do it, trust me, absolutely anybody can do it. What is the future here for the Aquarians in this spiritual, very spiritual message? This is a lot. First of all, your angels are with you. We have right here Archangel Michael that shows up. You have angels with you. And if you don't know how to connect with your angels, if you don't know how to ask for protection, you say out loud, angels, please come and protect me. Please scan my frequency and help me on my journey. I'm struggling right now. Your angels come, they scan your frequency, they know where you're at, and they know what you need. Then after that, pay attention to what happens in your life. Pay attention to what comes into your downloads in your mind. Pay attention to your internet, your feed when you're watching YouTube or surfing the net, what pops up. Pay attention to what people say to you. Pay attention to what, if you're watching TV, a commercial or something that just pops up out of nowhere. Pay attention. We have the 4 of Pentacles and we have the 10 of Swords in the reverse and the Ace of Wands. Some of us are holding back because of something painful, okay? We're afraid to love again because we've been betrayed, all right? Sometimes we're afraid that we won't get a second chance because this is a card of second chance. But this talks a lot about a second chance. having a second chance at life. And this would be that part of the song where I feel so alive for the very first time. This can be letting go of whatever the hell is going on here. Letting go of it because it's holding on to stuff. Give yourself a second chance. Every day is a new day. Look at the things you're not proud of in your life as things you have learned from, you've evolved from. I tell you one thing, I would get great advice from my grandparents all the time, but I still ran out and did the wrong thing. Some people have to learn the hard way. I was one of those people. When you get older, you get tired of standing back up. You want to just stay standing, or you want to rest, but you get tired of it. And at some point you get it through, you get it through the kukusa that, oh, I was one of those people. Give yourself a second chance. It's like, it's not a casserole here that if you burn it, you can't eat it. Give yourself a second chance. You can change your life. We have the Knight of Cups reverse and the Eight of Pentacles upright, and we have the Rock Star reverse, Knight of Wands. Some people don't know where to go for help. Some people don't know where to start. Some people don't know where to focus. So they just sort of focus wherever they can. Tell me about the Rock Star reverse. Tell me about the Rock Star reverse. It's really talking about a lot of people focus on money and they focus on everything else but, ascending. This is it. We have the Ascended Master here in reverse, but it landed on the Ace of Wands. So many people are focused on making money, the material world here. No one is focused. No, I'm not saying no one. I'm just saying this message is about ascension. This message is about not quitting. A lot of people are down here and there's so much work, or there's so much that requires to a person's day that it's even hard for a person to ascend. Sometimes it's just not even your fault. There's people who work 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. Or there are people who have one job but it consumes. I used to work a 57-hour week to put food on the table, pay the bills. It's expensive living in the city I live in. Some people are like that, and it's like, I don't have time for anything but work, pay bills. But this is the reason we came here, to ascend. But this is what's not happening. In some cases, not everybody. This is for those who need it. But it's really talking about having a conversation with the highest power here with this Hierophant. Getting in touch. Getting in tune. What's the self position for this reading? And anyone who doesn't want to hear this, I understand, but I don't understand. If it's about ascension, and the highest vibration of all is love. So if you're wanting to draw in that highest vibration, it does have a lot to do with your ascension. 2 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. Prince of Cups reverse. 7 of Cups. This is a lot of time spent thinking about what truly makes one happy here. What truly makes someone happy. Happiness is something that sustains a lifetime, and usually happiness comes from helping another person, ironically enough. You can go anywhere and be happy for a short time, right? But happiness that lasts a lifetime is generally happiness that involves helping another person. celebrations, being with other people that you enjoy being around, doing what you love. Those things lead to happiness. And literally happiness in reverse. Chariot reverse. These are the things that people have stopped doing. Two of Cups in the reverse. People are spending more time alone and isolated. They're not enjoying the company of another person, even if they literally live with another person. How many people, and I can relate to this, how many people have kids or live in a household with other people and you guys can connect, but everybody's on their phone or on the internet doing their own thing. We are isolated even in a room full of people. But we don't have to be. We feel alone, and it's because we've lost our connection. We've lost our connection to who we are. We're avoiding who we are on some levels. Not every level, not every person. But I'm telling you, this twin flame thing, it messes up a lot of people. It gets a lot of people stuck. I have all kinds of people who connect with me, reach out to me, and I'm telling you, we're in the 98% of these people, it's all about twin flames. It's all about a connection. Even if they don't know it's about a twin flame, it's all about this connection, about someone they can't stop thinking about. And years have gone by. So many people watch tarot about it there's just not a lot of information about this. There's more and more getting out there, but it keeps people in this sort of stuck energy. But what it's meant to do is awaken somebody. It's meant to drive somebody so crazy that they're like, I have to surrender to what? When there's nothing else that we can surrender to, when there's nothing else we can talk to, we usually find what we feel is our creator, which I call God. That's what we look to. God, take this away from me. I can't do it. Almost makes you realize why God would send in the twin flame to begin with, right? If it gets you to talk to him, why not? A lot of us avoid talking to God because we don't feel worthy. We feel that we will be judged hastily for our actions. I have learned that God is very loving and patient. Nine of Swords in reverse here. There's been a lot of sleepless nights. Can't focus. Things get better though. If you can leave that energy just by connecting to Source, your creator. Because quite honestly, I don't think that there's anything else on this planet that can remove this energy but Source. You can go to any drug counselor, any therapist, any tarot reader. I'm telling you, the way to get rid of this heaviness, you have to surrender to what you believe is the most highest power. Like I say, which I call God. Suppression reverse. This is holding a lot of stuff in. Just releasing it. When I went through the dark night of the soul, I had to release my twin flame. Thought we had this, big mission. And I was all carrying this responsibility about the mission and our purpose and all this and that. And, years went by. Nothing. No interaction. And then I had to go through the dark night of the soul. I'm like, I can't continue to go on like this. I literally broke down and cried. Shut down for 6 months. Looked to redirect myself. Learned to try to love myself. Get to know myself. It's hard. But on the other end of this, I realized there's something more to life. And I had to follow God to figure it out. because that was the only thing that gave me relief. I felt okay to give it to God. I didn't have to carry the burden of the twin flame journey. I didn't have to carry the burden of being the one who wanted to make this mission work, but the other person doesn't. I didn't carry the burden that, okay, I was in a relationship when I met my twin flame. I let go of all that stuff. What's the environment? We'll talk about some darkness right here. A lot of you are holding some deep buried emotions, and they can cause nightmares. They can haunt you. It's heavy. It's stuff you can't tell nobody, because either nobody will understand what you're going through, but it's saying here, release it. Eight of Swords reverse, release it. Release it. Give me a card for that. The Moon card. Yeah, you're not alone. This is around the world here. And how do we know it's around the world? Because, well, God knows all. But we are all connected. We are all one. We are all reflections of each other. This case, I'd say, what's the hope and what's the fear? So I guess I'll say that, a new beginning. And the fear is maybe can't let go, to start over. It's hard to let go, but it's time to let go. It's time to let go of whatever's holding you back. It's time. It's absolutely time. Right? You want a new beginning. You want a new opportunity, and this one comes from the divine. This is always the card. The universe is bringing you a new opportunity. Who controls the universe? For me, it's God. We have the Hangman in reverse. It's realizing there's something else out there for me. I don't have to wait. I don't have to feel alone. I don't have to have sleepless nights. No, you don't. There's something else. Give me a card for that. Consciousness. Can't make this up. You see me pulling it right out. It's time. It's time to move on from that pain and heartache. It's time. This is the year for it. It's time to get down to brass tacks while you're here. It's time to know that you're loved and you're not alone. Show me the outcome for this reading, this very spiritual and unique reading. I mean, I think it's getting back out there. I do. I think it's getting out of depression, getting out of loneliness, realizing you don't have to live that way. You don't have to feel that way, because there are people who push themselves to get out there. I was one of them. I was going places, doing things, but inside I was just stuck in a thought. I was stuck. I still felt alone, even though I was pushing myself to do things with my family, pushing myself to do things with my channel. I felt lonely inside. I felt broken. What's the outcome? Doing what you love. Princess of Cups. She's a seamstress, but it's a card of creation. You are a creator. Let the creation flow through you. Whoever you are, whatever you do, whatever you want to do, let the creation flow through you. And it might put you in a place of wealth and stability with this Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. Definitely. Give me a card for that, please. Oppression reverse, Ten of Wands, let go. Let it go to the universe, literally to God. For me, this is always, the sun card is always a card of God, source, and then because I believe in Jesus, I feel that the child is always Jesus. That's me. That's my belief. I understand that everyone believes it, and that's fine, but, you know, this is who I am. From my learnings growing up, this is who I am. Tell me about the Princess of Cups, who is the costume designer. Tell me about that for the outcome. Let go. Yep. Whatever is holding you back is time. It's time to let go. It's time to get out of this energy, this loneliness, stuck. It's time to let go. And it's time to look to source. Okay? To God. Let go. Do things you love like a child. When you were a child, were you always so caught up on, you know, thinking about who you were going to be with? Or did you just know it was going to happen? Like when I was a kid, I didn't think of none of that stuff. I was playing with dolls. I was playing dress up. I was, you know, sort of role-playing as who I would be as an adult. None of it had to do with love, breaking up, definitely not twin flame, not even soulmates. What did you do when you were a kid? Now, I understand. I went through a lot as a kid, but I had my moments where I would imagine and play. Well, go back to that place of imagination and play and creativity within yourself. You don't need another person around you to do that. You can create something and be happy on your own. You draw in other people as a result. You become part of something else. Give me another card. Then we'll get into the advice. Well, as usual, it flipped over and flipped over again. But success. You're going to have a lot of success in doing what you love, walking away from that energy of feeling isolated and alone. It's time. Now is the time, Aquarius or Cross Watcher. Now is the time. If you're seeing this, now is the time to walk away from that feeling of that abandonment, of that aloneness, of that situation that didn't work out. Now is the time to go. It's time. You do have an opportunity coming in here. And that's going to be your sign, okay? It's going to be, here's your sign, Aquarius, Cross Watcher. Now take it. Take it and go. Go and create. And then it turns into, like I had showed you, the Queen of Pentacles, which I think I put her back in the deck. Go and create. It's time to go and create something. It's time to ascend. What's the advice here? We have the Gentle Gardener. It's card number 2. We have literally a spirit looking down here. Possibly an ancestor, but it doesn't matter. The Gentle Gardener is visiting you at this moment in your life to remind you that your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs create the reality that you experience. She is the embodiment of the energy within you that is sent out into the field of co-creation and ensures that all that you are is reflected in the world and form. I repeat that. She is the embodiment of energy within you. She's the creation of energy within you. And it's saying that it's time to go out and create. And that everything that you reflect in that creation is going to be in this world. It's going to have a form. It's going to become something. Are you aware of your thoughts? What is their quality? So if you're feeling this, isolation and alone. You're creating this in the world, is what it's saying to me. That's how I take it. And it's not you, but it's not a collective, because a lot of people feel this. Believe in limitless possibility and you will see miracles unfold. The gentle gardener guarantees the integrity of everything you send out into the world. Stay positive and expect a wondrous return. Your garden is abundant with beauty. It's time to get creative for whoever's watching, and it's time to transmute and transform this energy. And it's going to be very beautiful. It's time. Now is the time to go and create something beautiful and go do what you absolutely love, enjoy. And then at some point, you're going to be joined with other forces. You're going to attract everything, abundance and friends and family, new friends and family that you find and that you bring into your world. Anyway, you guys, I love you. Thanks for listening, and namaste.